The Movement 101 and me and you came together because we kind of viewed some of the things that we saw in the industry as not as particularly healthy or didn't align with our values. And just looking at social media in terms of the fitness industry, you're looking at people who do, like you mentioned, train 6 days a week, who are super lean and live a certain lifestyle. And maybe people aren't aware of the sacrifices, literally, they make in order to look that way. And then you have to question, is that healthy? I mean, in terms of looking at that, like Fit Pros and looking at what we're kind of peddled on social media, I mean, can you give people advice on how to ask better questions? Or I mean, like, what questions should they ask themselves regarding their own training or their own lifestyle?
Yeah, well, I think one thing about, I mean, you can, of course, be lean and have that six-pack or whatever, 365 days a year. And some people are healthy who look like that. 100%. But what I'd say is, with lighting, with photography these days, those shoots, no one does it before a workout. They're always pumped.
Yeah.
They don't look like that all the time.
Yeah.
All right. Let's say 90% of what you see, they do not look like that all the time. Even like bodybuilders, they'll get ready for a show and they'll get super lean just coming up to the show, and then they'll probably bounce. They put on a bit of weight, but it's
and then even go with bodybuilders and performance enhancing drugs. Exactly.
And even I saw a interview with, I think it was Ronaldo and someone else. It might have been Ibrahimovic, but they were talking about they had this photo shoot, and Ronaldo was saying it was one of the hardest shoots he's ever done because they had him down doing push-ups and sit-ups and getting a pump on.
Yeah.
And then he's smiling. He said he smiled. It was hard to smile because he was like, flexing.
Yeah, yeah.
And look, here's him with a bottle of whatever, whatever he was promoting. But, it is a bit kind of, I don't want to say nonsense, but it's enhanced in terms of the photography you see a lot of the time, the lighting. Listen, these guys look really, really good, but people in the general public don't believe so much of what you see. There's a bit of airbrushing going on in places. So I think it can give the wrong, not maybe the wrong, it is a kind of, there's a falseness to it, a lot of it, that can give the ordinary Joe soap like, jeepers, I'm never going to look like that. When the person who they think they'll never look like doesn't look like that most of the time anyway, know? That can cause issues, especially like with younger people on social media. And I have a couple of kids, for example, and we know there's issues from this kind of falseness that's portrayed on social media.
Thanks very much for listening, guys. If you want to find out any more information, you can contact us on Instagram at rob_movement101, or you can contact Brian at Brian_movement101. Thanks very much again. See you next time.